Hi, Kiwi. Alright, we're gonna pick up right where we left off in the Chapter 7 B-side. Enjoy! Oh, and I didn't really talk about Celeste yet. I talked about Flame. I like Celeste. I ended up liking Celeste more and more as the game went on. He definitely has a huge stick up his ass in the start of the game, because he's always on your case, being like, "I'm watching you, Professor. Don't screw up." And, like, I understand why. He has probably been working at the monastery and protecting Rhea for years, if not centuries. And then this professor comes out of nowhere and is just getting all of Rhea's favoritism for reasons he couldn't possibly understand, because why would he understand? He has no context. But my goodness, does he clearly does not trust, and if not only not trust, does he probably resents Violet as well for having such immediate favor with Rhea. But with all that said, though, you start to like him more and more as you earn his trust. And I mean, he's hilariously overprotective of Flame, which I also think is kind of funny. Like, I don't know why, but the helicopter family member trope between Celeste and Holst has been invariably comedic to me, and I've been enjoying their dynamics. Brr. As a unit, I never really used Celeste. I know he's a Wyvern Rider, Wyvern Lord sort of class, so he's inherently got good stat growth, if nothing else. And then there's Sothis. I don't quite know what to make of Sothis, because she is very different between Three Houses and Three Hopes because of reasons that I don't really know, other than, I guess, the presence of Shez triggers her awakening early, maybe? It's unclear to me. I'm not sure how to get that cycle right, because that ghost keeps ending up on the spring. Maybe if I wait a second. Let's go now. Nope, that was a mistake. Oh, okay. Alright, well, a mistake or not, it worked. Okay, this room 100% can be skipped with a wave dash. That was not a wave dash. Alright, I'm gonna do this. Watch me. Alright, it's not a wave dash, but we'll take it. This one too, probably. I'm gonna do this. Watch me. Look what I can do. Nope. All right, I'm gonna treat this one legit. I don't think it's gonna. It's a cycle-based room. We all know how I do with cycle-based rooms, anyway. Oh, we made it. Cool. So far, not so bad, right? Right. Anyway, so I don't know what to say about Sothis. I genuinely am not a fan of the century-old lolly trope that is pervasive through anime. I think it's overdone and it's kind of gross. Like, especially if it's a romanceable option, because then it just becomes creepy on top of gross. This room will feel very fancy to pull off speedrun style if it's possible. It's probably possible, I just have to be good at the game. But I guess I do enjoy Sothis's banter with Violet. I think she is very bitingly sarcastic, or maybe not sarcastic, but she is very, very critical at times, and I find it amusing. She definitely is more interesting to me than Arval was in Three Hopes. Arval was the evil equivalent of Sothis, pretty much, and I don't know. He just felt overly uncomfortably saccharine at times in terms of how he interacted with Shez, always referring to him or to them, I guess I'll say, as my partner in destiny. And I think Sothis has used such phrasing as well, and yet somehow it did not bother me nearly as much as when Arval said it. But I don't know. I guess I do like when Sothis like shouts at Violet for being really dumb or inconsiderate, because I mean no one else is usually going to do that except for like the nobles to a degree. Oh, wait. Forgot about the platform underneath. Oopsie. I think this room needs a little bit brain. A little bit more brain than I'm offering right now. Please, no. But, I don't know. I think overall I do like Sothis. I don't like her tropey, the trope of her being a young girl that's like actually centuries old, or millennia old. So yeah, I guess it's less that I dislike Sothis and more just like the trope that she represents. Which is fair, I think. I think that's fair. Are there any other church folk that I have forgotten? I think that's probably the bulk of them, isn't it? Oh, I guess technically Gerald. Why don't we talk about Gerald real quick? I like him. He seems like a fun guy, and he seems like a pretty awesome father figure to Violet. You don't really get to see them interact father-son a whole lot, or father-child a whole lot. But the moments that you have, you can tell that he cares for them. He cares. He clearly loved their mother. I think the mother's name was Citri, if I recall. Oh man, I almost had it. And the story of them falling in love at the church that you get in the DLC is simple and short, but it's sweet. And I'm a you know me, I'm a hopeless romantic when it comes to that kind of stuff, so I appreciated it. Woo, we did it. All right. And oh my goodness, Gerald's voice. I love that they let him be the narrator, because my goodness, that deep gravelly voice, it's fantastic. I don't know the name of the voice actor off the top of my head, otherwise I would absolutely give him a shout out. But oh man, sing me a bedtime story, Gerald, or read me a bedtime story, why don't ya? Anyway, aside from me being a total simp for Gerald's voice actor, the character himself is written kind of as this like friendly but willing to fight for. He's got, I don't know, would I say strong morals or strong conviction? I would say not so much morals. When he is hired for a task, he commits to it, and he also is clearly a man who loves his drink. That's been played up a fair bit, I believe. In Three Hopes particularly, there's a scene where he's just like, all right, Shez, you and Byleth go home. I'm gonna go make sure things are squared off with this village we just saved. And you both are like, yeah, he's definitely gonna go drinking. And that's fine. That's just a fun part of Gerald's character, I guess. I don't. Personally speaking, I'm not that into drinking as a trope, just because I don't particularly care for drinking, and I've seen it cause damage, let's say, to people. So, but I'm not going to stop someone from drinking. I'm just not going to partake. I'll always be the designated driver. It doesn't help that I just cannot hold my liquor. I have inherited it from my family, but I am a incorrigible lightweight. I think my dad and I on my 21st birthday shared a half bottle of beer together. Like a half bottle. And we were both drunk off of it by the end of the night. Or, well, not too long thereafter, I guess, not by the end of the night, but it's not really a feeling or a taste that I care for. I am very sensitive to textures in the mouth when drinking, particularly, and I hate the feel of carbonated drinks. Severely hate that feeling. Especially if I can feel the bubbles in the back of my nose or the carbon dioxide like leaving my nose. It's a sensation I get with carbonated drinks and a sensation I get with wasabi as well. Wasabi's a different story altogether just because it's also super spicy. But I cannot handle something that I feel either tingling my tongue or burning my mouth. It's the reason why I don't like the flavor mint either. It's a tactile feel that bothers me fundamentally. Nice, got that room on the first try. Not bad. Oh, this is gonna be fun, I'm sure. Oh, goodness me. Well, let's just reset. Oh, this is just like the first part of this, isn't it? Actually, it may be a lot easier, potentially. Oh. Almost salvaged it. I think hanging on the edge is the right call there, though. But yeah, I think that's kind of my critique and opinion on all of the Three Houses characters. Oh, Monica. Ooh, sorry, I punched the microphone. I forgot about Monica. We have to give Monica at least a shout out because she exists as a playable character in Three Hopes. And in that game, she's not Kranya. She's actually a character who is hilariously, uncomfortably obsessed with Edelgard, just like Hubert, to a degree. But like a different obsession. Hubert is like a not openly coveting her. He's just like from the shadows, appreciating her and supporting her. Monica is like hard gay for she is hard gay for Edelgard, and our headcanon was shipping her and Hubert as like a three-way couple with Edelgard. Honestly, it was so funny. But the banter and the arguments between Monica and Hubert, I don't know why I didn't dash there. They just run the Edelgard fan club in the college, and it was so funny just seeing those characters interact with each other. All right, let's see if I can make this work. Oh, nope, can't make it work. Can I save it? I saved it. That was fancy. That felt so good to pull off, because it probably would have ended poorly. Speaking of which, okay. Whoop, dodge that. I think I need to reset my jump off of the snowballs. Okay. This is not going to be easy. Oh, I wasted my jump. I saved it. Saved it? Okay. Ah. I bet if you use the speedrun, you can carry your momentum across these gaps. It's just the wind is so strong that I still don't make it. Okay. No, I bet... You know what? Maybe... I think there's a way to do this. Not like that. That was not the way. Nah, I didn't get my jump back. Alright, we're gonna use this as an opportunity to practice the wave dash. Yeah! Okay, that would have worked. The timing isn't necessarily tight, but the positioning is because the wind is also blowing us away. Okay, that would have worked if I hadn't gotten beamed by the snowball, I think. I'll just play this legit. Yeah, who am I kidding? Oh, so close. There we go. Yeah, if I can get my dash back, I can absolutely do this. Look at that. Speedrun tech wins the day. It was Wednesday after all. Oh, this is the last room for this. Oh my goodness, Kiwi. I mean, we're at cloud platforming, so we'll see how this goes, but... It's cloud platforming with extremely strong winds, my favorite. Okay, got the timing. I think I just fall. Yeah. Grab this. Okay, this does not seem nearly as bad as the Chapter 4 B-side, even remotely. Just let that fall and try not to crash into stuff. Okay. I think we've got this, though. I feel confident, and that is a mistake. We all know how Jeff's confidence ends. Like that, exactly. You got it. Anyway. Where was I? You know, I've been thinking about playing Hades again sometime soon. I might do that once Celeste is finished, because either that or Dead Cells, I imagine, because I kind of have a nice routine right now where I play some sort of indie game, and then, well, I've almost exclusively been playing indie games on this channel, and I'll probably stick to that, but a couple AAAs here or there aren't outside the realm of possibility. For now, it's exclusively PC gaming, though, because, oops, sorry, I don't have an HDMI capture card, so I have to stick to PC recording, but I'll probably... If this channel keeps going, I was thinking about maybe asking for it for my birthday, which is still a good 4 months away, so, you know. Well, the pink cloud is still my death as always. No! Birdo! I apparently become Gollum when I get frustrated by cloud platforming today. Or I guess that's more Birdo, since I said Birdo's name out loud, you know? Alright, come on, I can do this. I can't do this, Kiwi. I was confident coming into this room. I am no longer confident leaving it. Oh well. Anyway, I guess one last thing before I end my ramble about Fire Emblem and move on to our next topic, because I do want to talk about Hades a little bit. Like I said, I'm curious about... Oh, right, the wind pushes me into that. That makes sense. I am considering playing Hades fairly consistently on this channel for a little bit, because I love that game, and I never really got to see its true ending. So I feel like it would be fun to experience that. Oh my goodness, this room. But I want to at least briefly mention Fire Emblem Awakening, because I know in a previous episode I started talking about it and then I got distracted and completely lost the train of thought. But Fire Emblem Awakening is my favorite Fire Emblem game. It was my first Fire Emblem game, which might have to do with some of the reason for that. But it is a game I very eagerly want to share with you down the road. And I'm hopeful that Three Houses will act as a gateway drug for that. Just as Three Hopes was your gateway drug into the Fire Emblem franchise, despite it being a Warriors game, you know? Okay, I need to land on that cloud. I see what I'm doing. This is gonna take this is gonna take a couple tries, isn't it? Well, it wouldn't be a Chapter 4 B-side analog if I didn't have to struggle through some amount of cloud platforming. But at least I'm getting through here more reliably. Oh, almost made it. I just overcorrected to the right. But Fire Emblem Awakening has a brilliant soundtrack, a brilliant narrative, and really fun characters. I believe it's the first Fire Emblem game that incorporated the support conversations, and it did a great job. I remember very distinctly, so in this game you get to play Robin, who you know from Smash. It's the sword-wielding, magic-wielding Fire Emblem character. They can marry, and unlike Three Houses, in Awakening you also get children, and the children show up through the power of time travel in a very interesting bit of narrative, and they have very interesting support conversations in their own right with their parents and with their other time-traveling children friends. But the basic premise is Robin makes it out of the end of the world, pretty much. And using their knowledge, which is somewhat masked by a degree of amnesia, she and Chrom, they and Chrom, who you're familiar with, will try and save the world again. And the children characters are from that previously destroyed world. Basically, they are time traveling to save the parallel. I think they go with parallel world rather than direct time travel, like changing the timeline, so they don't disappear after correcting things, for example. But they, oh my goodness, there's so much space there, and yet because of the wind, it feels like there's no space at all to get the right angle. But the way the children work is effectively I think it's the children are linked to the mother, and the hair color of the child is linked to the father, but the children share the passives that the characters get. So in Three Houses, the passive system is kind of linked to class, and while that is the case in Awakening as well, each character has kind of inherent traits that they can get as well. All right, Chapter 4 is behind us, and we never have to come back. Hooray. But anyway, I digress. So the characters, oops, a little too fast there. The children are very interesting because you get to see how they would interact with their parents. And so there's custom dialogue for every parent pairing. Obviously the mothers will have the same. The fathers, I think overall are similar, but there are some situations where they're different. And some fathers have a child linked to them as well. For example, Lucina is always going to be Chrom's daughter. Let me see if I can do this. Oh, whoa, okay, that was fancy. That was less fancy. I promise you I can do this. Hold on. There we go. Oh, that feels good. Ooh, that room is fast if you do it right. Anyway. Oopsie. Where was I? So for example, Lucina will always be Crom's daughter, but she can be the daughter of anyone else, or she can be the daughter of any other female character. And I do think there are some gay pairings in that. It may not have been the case until the game that came after it, Fates, which was Birthright and Revelations and Conquest. Fire Emblem Fates, Birthright, Conquest, or Revelations, in other words. But I don't know. I remember that I chose Cordelia for my player character, who's kind of this red-haired Pegasus Knight woman. Her backstory I remember I really, really liked, and her support logs with the main character made me really like her as a character, so I went with her. And her daughter is Severa, who is an absolute terror on the field. She's a primarily sword-wielding class, but she gets amazing stat growth and was so unbelievably strong in my army. I forget whose daughter it was. It may have been Siegfried. I don't remember his name. There's a Cavalier Paladin type character that you start with early on in the game. I don't remember his name. I don't think it was Ferdinand, but for some reason I want to say it's Ferdinand, and I'm pretty sure that's wrong. I think it was Siegfried. But I remember, I think it was his daughter. She's a heavy armor unit, and I know heavy armor units are usually not looked well upon in Fire Emblem because they're slow, they can't keep up with the army. But I fed her the movement shoes and basically did what we thought about doing with Edelgard, where we just make her a mobile tank that takes no damage unless faced with a magic unit. And it was so fun. She was easily one of my favorite units. She had a custom or a upgraded javelin that nothing could survive against. Obviously, she wasn't doubling on anything because she's one of the slowest units in the game, but she was going to murder everything in one hit anyway because she just had so much amazing strength growth, pretty much max HP and defense. It was fun. But me bragging about an overpowered unit is nothing to sell you on a Fire Emblem game. That just happens naturally in most playthroughs. What I want to say about Fire Emblem Awakening is, again, its soundtrack is phenomenal, its character writing is as well, and its overarching narrative, I remember it having some incredibly strong character moments. So I very much hope that when you have had your fill of 3 houses and you're in the mood for more Fire Emblem, whenever that may be, that you give Awakening a try one day. I think it'll be worth your time. The only downside is it's on the DS, so it'll be hard for me to watch you play. But I think that's okay. Ultimately, it's your experience with the game that I want, not my experience with you with the game, if that makes sense. So how does one... Oh, it's spring. Perfect. Oops, well. But yeah, I look forward to sharing that game with you one day. Now on to Hades. So Hades, if anyone listening is unfamiliar with that game, is a roguelite. Roguelite rather, not like. Centered around the son of Hades, the god of death. The son's name is Zagreus, and you're trying to escape the underworld. And every time you die, you start back at the starting area, basically the lobby, the entrance hall of hell, or whatever the underworld. I guess it's the underworld. It's not actually strictly hell, but I think it's still called hell technically. I don't know. It's been a while since I've studied Greek mythology, you know. Hades was the closest thing I had to studying Greek mythology for a very long time, you know. You know. I digress. There we go. Hit the spring, grab that, bounce up, get there. Oh, okay, I see. So I want to grab that. I cannot do the flip there without hitting that wall, so I need to wait a little bit. It's definitely doable, I'm just not good enough to do it, it seems. Like, there's enough space for Madeline to exist there, but it's very tight. There we go. Fall to the spring, Grab this, dash up. Oh my god, I want to go straight up, I swear. Anyway, also the game is produced by Supergiant Games, which if you're familiar with games like Bastion and Transistor, and especially Pyre, they are always amazing at making banger after banger of game. Oh wait, you know what? I see what I need to do. I need to use momentum here. In theory, this should... Yep, there we go. Okay. Still failed it, but now I think I'll be a bit more consistent at that than the other method. There we go. I swear I am trying to go straight up there. Well, that's the one downside to playing on controller. I'm more consistent on controller than keyboard because I started... Mad! Jeff mad! I started on controller with this game, but still. Oh, you know what? I need to use the momentum to carry me up with the jump again. I gotcha. Actually, no. That thing goes down, so I can't do that. Never mind. Or maybe... Nah. Okay. I can definitely reach it. I just have to jump from the right location. My hand is starting to cramp from playing too much Celeste all at once. There we go. Now I can go there, jump like that. Really? Lame. I forgot to jump entirely there. Anyway, so Hades is a game I have spent a lot of hours. If you look at my Switch play log, it is a I think I easily broke 100, probably closer to 200 hours in that game. And so it's definitely a game I could play a whole lot on this channel, just for like a casual, maybe like one run an episode sort of thing, for funsies. But I'm thinking about it, I really am. Because the other game that I'm considering, because I've never experienced it, is Dead Cells, because I know it's another popular indie Metroidvania type game. I won't say I'm not big on Metroidvanias, I just don't have a lot of experience with them because I've never really played many. Hollow Knight was probably my first true Metroidvania type game in a very, very, very long time. Because I really haven't played many Metroid games, period, and I've never played a Castlevania game, unless you count Bloodstained, which, I mean, was made by one of the original creators, or I think the original creator of Castlevania. But in my defense, I didn't really play that game so much as I helped you a little bit with it. Okay, these diagonals are going to kill me. I swear I am trying to do, like, cardinal directions and getting diagonals regardless. I think my hand is just tiring out. It may be time for a break from this game, but we're honestly kind of close to beating this B-side, aren't we? I mean, we're an hour in, of course, but this is Chapter 5, so we only have Chapter... Why did I do that? We have Chapter 6 and 7 left, and then the B-side is complete. So, I feel like I've made reasonably good pace here for a blind... Why did I do that? For a blind playthrough of a B-side, you know? And frankly, it's definitely more difficult maintaining dialogue while I'm playing this game, but I feel pretty good about what I'm doing. Except for those diagonals. Those diagonals can stop, please. My nose is so itchy. I keep accidentally punching the microphone to scratch my nose. I guess I'm very aggressive when I'm itchy. I guess. There we go. And the momentum carried me upwards. Okay. You know, the thing about it is I've been so focused on getting to that destination that I never really thought about what do I do once I get there. Well, as I mentioned before, I am a tactile feel sort of fellow, so we'll just go ahead and map it out and find out. I think what I'll need to do is probably use the upwards momentum from the one that I'm hanging on below to get to the final, whatever we want to call these things. Gear shifters? No, that's weird. I don't know, these dash-triggered platforms. DTPs. I don't know if that's any better, actually. Oh well, I'm gonna fast forward at this point. I'm not having much luck. We did it! Oh, we're free! Oh, cool, and we're at the end of this chapter. Cool, alright. Oops. Well, we're making progress. Anyway, what can I say about Hades that I would want to say? So, for me, it's not just the difficulty, because I was able to beat it. To add context, Hades has a way of increasing the difficulty of levels, and it's called adding heat. And what you're supposed to do is, it adds certain modifiers to your run. For example, you have to give up one power-up that you obtain each floor, for example. And... oh, hold on. This is going to require some brain. Oh my goodness. No. So, basically, less time to complete a floor before you have a time limit, and once that time limit is exceeded, you start taking damage every second. You take more damage from enemies, you deal less damage to enemies. Those sorts of modifiers are how you add heat to Hades, effectively. And I beat it at 64 heat, which is kind of like the big achievement to get, or maybe it's 32 heat. I forget. There's a maximum heat run. I forget what it was, but whatever the heat requirement to unlock the final statue in Skelly's room. If that doesn't make sense to you, that's fine. But basically, I played it on the hardest expected difficulty that the devs gave us, effectively. So I was pretty solid at the game. My main weapon that I like to use was the bow, specifically the bow of Aphrodite, or whatever. Was it Aphrodite? I forget. No, it was rather I like to use the bow that had a shorter range but a wide AoE. And I remember loving Aphrodite's power-up for that bow. I forget what it did, but it was super strong. I think it just had a really strong damage modifier on it. Odd that you'd associate damage with Aphrodite, right? But there you are. I think that was my favorite way to build Zagreus with the bow. And I think I kind of liked the Knuckles, although I was super prone to getting myself killed because I would just face tank everything. The sword was a bit more consistent, and I never really got good at using the spear, but I know it's one of the better weapons, at least to my understanding. Getting to that jump or dash refill is going to be a little tricky, I think. At least I'm getting here pretty consistently, and this feels fancy because it has to be fast. Yeah, that's probably... oops, sorry, I punched the mic again. I'm sorry, I just have to keep scratching my nose. I'm so itchy right now, and I don't know what to do about it, because blowing my nose didn't fix it. Anyway, yeah, oh my god, I clocked so many hours. I must have gotten pretty close to getting the true ending, because I believe there's a... I got to the point where Zagreus has a plan with Persephone, but I don't know what that plan... I don't know what that plan is. It wasn't revealed to the player. So, yeah, but I was definitely a lot better at that game than I am at Isaac, is all I'll say. I love The Binding of Isaac, but I cannot play The Binding of Isaac and give any form of meaningful commentary at the same time. I might still do a little bit of Binding of Isaac recording, just because I was doing like a rank, cutting down the... Darn it, man, I had that. I got diagonaled again. I was cutting down I was doing the internet trend that was popular at the time where you were cutting down the Smash roster, and with my history playing so much Smash, I figured it was appropriate to give commentary on that, because it's something I could pretty confidently talk about. I still have an image that I made that kind of shows which characters I was going to file down. But I feel like if I restarted it in Hades, it's kind of defeating the point. So I might do a couple more Isaac. I mean, Kiwi, you have requested me do more Isaac as well, so it probably doesn't hurt to do an episode or two in the future, but I'll probably wait till I finish Celeste before I go and attempt that. I've got enough difficult indie games to play right now. This room is going to take brain and not commentary, I think, unfortunately. I've got most of the motions down, except I don't. Okay, is this it? No, okay, but we made a... Oh my goodness, this room is too long, Kiwi. Alright, I think I can do this in the first try, though. And that's not confidence, that's just... I really, really, really don't want to have to do this room anymore. Alright, here we go. This is risky. I got it, okay. Thank goodness, that room was really difficult, and my hand is, like, really starting to cramp. I might have to end a little early, but we're on the summit. I can do this. I can do this, Kiwi. I can do this. I can do this. I can do this. Alright, Kiwi, once again, I'm going to end this a little bit in the middle of things. Again, sorry for the abrupt cutoff, but I am trying to maintain that respect for my work schedule and personal time, so we'll pick up in the next one and see the end of 7B Summit. I hope you've enjoyed so much so far, Chapter 7's B-side. Chapter 7 is called The Summit. Whatever. I hope you've enjoyed watching if you're awake, and if you're awake, I hope this is helping you fall asleep. If you're sleeping, I hope you're sleeping well. I love you, and I'll see you in the next one.